joy to Metalarium Pages. It's a great pleasure to talk with you about Evil Invaders, this Shattered Reflection new album, and more things related to the metal world. Starting with this question: how was the situation now in Europe with this pandemic? First, because I think we are ending this pandemic for good for all, and now the war. The world is very there's a very interesting thing now. These 2 years are a lot of things happen around the world.
Yeah, it's a crazy world we live in.
Yeah.
But hey, we can't complain. We had peace for a long time, so yeah, no, man, it's a shitty situation. I don't know what to say about it. I mean, obviously, I hope this pandemic will be over soon, but they're talking about a new wave coming here in Belgium, so I really don't know what to expect for the upcoming year. It could all be fine, but it could all be shit as well. So we're taking things day by day and just plan ahead and see what happens.
Yeah.
Right now
Yeah.
we got some shows confirmed for the Netherlands and then festivals in summer. So fingers crossed that this all will happen, and
Great.
hopefully we'll be touring again soon properly. So yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. So I saw that your Shadow Reflection is your third album in your career since your first album, plus Pulse of Pleasure. So how was the things changing compared to the first album to now? Because many change. Man, you have more than I think you will be more than you will in 5 years more you will have 20 years of existence.
Holy shit. Yeah, it could be. Yeah. The thing is that since sort of very first when we started out, we had some lineup changes and stuff, and right now we have a solid lineup since 2015, I think. So yeah, it's been a long road so far, and it's been going great. I mean, step by step, we're climbing the ladder, and it's going good. And right now, I think with this new record, we're definitely appealing to a lot more different kind of fans than just the thrash crowd. Obviously, this is still there, and we still have a lot of those influences. But I think because the songwriting got way better throughout the years, we always like gain more fans from different kind of styles as well. It's not just thrash anymore what we're doing. It's like going out of the borders and into the other boxes as well. It's going out of the thrash box and into a more, let's say, extreme heavy metal box.
Great. So one question that I wanted to ask: you formed the band in 2007. Now the Pulse of Pleasure released in 2015. So 8 years for the first time that you formed this band, and perhaps more because usually the band starts 2 years or 3 years before the official formation.
Yeah,
So
I think
why?
the
So why?
official formation was 2009, let's say. That was when
Okay.
we played our first show,
Okay. So
2009.
so
Yeah.
why the band delayed 8, 7, or 6 years to release your first album, Pulse of Pleasure?
Actually, because we didn't take the band very seriously in the beginning. We just wanted to play shows, and we were just like jamming, and yeah, we just wanted to drink beers and get wasted. And then when we released our first EP in 2013, that's when we actually realized like, hey, it's not that bad, and people actually like what we're doing. So then we got signed with Napalm Records, and from then it went pretty fast. Like we had 2013, and we started playing basically almost all over the world. We even played Japan with our first EP, and we did yeah, big festivals. We did Keep It True. Then we did yeah, then we in 2014 we recorded our album Pulse of Pleasure, which got released in 2015. Then 2 years later we did Feed Me Violence, and we've been touring a lot, so that's why it took so long to release our third record. Basically, we were playing so many shows and then still had our day jobs aside of that. So as soon as we came back from tour, we had to work to be able to afford going back on tour again. And yeah, it was just a rush basically. And then
Mhm.
COVID happened, and then we realized, hey, we have been writing songs in the meantime by ourselves, and we had like 20 demos or something ready. And then when COVID kicked in, we just started working on our next record properly and pushed it to where it is right now, you know.
Mhm. Great, great, great. So when you released your first album, you was with Naples Records. That's a great success for the band because the next two albums, Feed My Balance, released two by Naples Records, and now this Shattering Reflection is released into by Naples Records. So how was the first encounter with Naples Records? Because now I think on Naples Records around the world is one of the biggest labels into the heavy metal stuff, and I think sometimes for a new band it's very difficult to get one big label because many bands start now with a small labels or underground labels.
Actually, we were very lucky that they contacted us right after the release of our first EP. So we were I remember we were doing like a small self-organized tour throughout Europe, and suddenly they said like, "Hey guys, we're interested in signing you. We noticed your music, and we're very excited to hear what you guys are gonna do next. So are you interested in signing with Napalm Records?" And we're like, "Whoa, that's crazy!" So we met him in Austria when we passed there in Innsbruck for our show, and we talked a bit, and then later discussed the contract, and we just signed that summer, basically. So it was we were very lucky to be picked up by them. We didn't even send out to other labels because we had just released something and we didn't have new music to shop with, you know. They just contacted us and we were very lucky.
Great, great to hear that. So now we will talk about other matters. I know I don't know other matters because around the world, as you can see, I said there is a lot of releases now. Came every day, came each month. But it's very difficult to get attention because there's a lot of stuff coming every day. Every day it's very difficult. Even with with the singles, with EPs, with splits, with compilations. Wow, too much music for too much music for one week perhaps.
Yeah, yeah, it's
So
true.
so in terms of this matter, why is the big difference that the shadow reflection do according to a lot of stuff coming every day? What is the biggest strange that this new album has compared to a lot of stuff coming?
You got to hear it. That's the thing. It's just I think what we do now is fresh and different from what you hear in most modern metal releases. Like we have our music is very inspired by the roots of heavy metal, like the old bands, the big bands, you know, and bringing that into a new, uh, in a modern way, let's say, is something different than what you often hear. We're not trying to copy something that's already been done before, but we're very influenced by all these great bands from the 80s and stuff, you know.
Great.
So I think our music is like a combination of thrash metal, heavy metal, and classic rock, all combined into something new, like with a bit of a progressive touch as well. So especially our new record has a lot of variety in styles of songs. Like the three first singles we released, like the first song is a bit more like a ballad, power ballad. The second one is really like a straightforward thrash song, and the third one is something in between. And I think that's something you don't hear anymore. Like I miss when I listen to modern metal, I often miss rock and roll in modern bands. And I try to bring that back to the metal scene, let's say. It's
Great.
hard to talk about it myself, you know, because I'm not objective, you know. You have to listen to it yourself and see whether you like it or not. You know, this is just my opinion on my music, you know.
Yes, yes, yes. That's okay, okay. So
Everybody has a
uh,
different flavor and people might hate it, people might love it, you know, see for yourself.
yeah, depends of the taste. That's correct. Yeah, yeah. So other questions talking about this. Well, you know these kind of things because you're a musician fan, you're a metal fan. That's why you formed this band in 2007 or 2009. So when and many people when the band starts when a first album, in this case you pulses of pleasures. Many people thinks, or many band, many reviewers, many fans, these a lot of people think that the first album is the greatest song for the band, and this is never. You never do the same because the band changed the sound, everything. Because you're a musician, you're a fan musician. You think, you think like that from your preferred band. You like your preferred bands like Iron Maiden, like Judas Priest, like this kind of stuff. You think that these bands, these first two or first three records are the best ones, and then the band decide to, oh, it's a very more or less band now, perhaps. So, and now, but the counterproductive thing around these kind of things is that usually the last album is the best work for the band, and the fans thinks that the first work is the best one. So how do you think about this matter? The fans talking about the first album, and now the band thinks is the new, or for you perhaps is the second one the best work until today. Who knows?
To me personally, it might sound cliche, but I really think the last one we just released is just more elaborate than everything we did before. It's still the same band. We still sound like us, like our first. Some songs could have been on our first record, but it's just better executed this time. Like, we grew as musicians. The solos are better. The vocal lines are better. The sound, the studio sound is better. I do get why some bands release their first album and then it's all great songs, but it's also because they had a lot of time probably before they actually hit the studio. They had these songs laying around for years probably and played them live, so they knew how to play them perfectly before they actually hit the studio. When they release something, then there's a label involved, and then it's like, okay guys, you jump on the train, let's go. And next year we need a new record, and the year after as well. I think that's what happened back in the day, and that's why the later albums from big bands sometimes had fillers as well, because you tend to write stuff that maybe you're not completely satisfied with. But that's not an issue for us because we don't have a lot of pressure from our label. And it took us basically 5 years in between our previous record and this one, so we really selected all the best tracks that we had, and we don't release. I'd rather release nothing than release a shitty song, you know. So
Yeah.
I think if you release an album, every song on there should be worthy of being on the record among the other good songs on the album.
Okay.
So yeah, we took a lot of time and we're very perfectionistic. So check it out. Even if you didn't like our previous music, I think you might like this one.
Great, great. So now talking about other matters this time. So how do you, what is your opinion about the digital platforms now? Is good, is bad, or perhaps it's both of that concepts?
Everything has its ups and downs, you know. I mean, like, digital platform, obviously right now you can listen to my record without actually owning a CD. So that's good for me. I mean, I'm doing interviews with people all over the world who heard my music, who saw my videos because it was all on internet, you know? And people can stream it whenever they want, wherever they want. They don't have to buy a physical thing. Even if they don't have the money to buy an album, they can still listen to it. And that's a cool thing. On the other hand, you don't sell as many records, so financially it's harder for artists. But everything has its ups and downs, because maybe if the online platforms wouldn't be there, we wouldn't have played Japan, we wouldn't have played Russia, we wouldn't have played South America. And we would have just been in Europe all the time and maybe be a big band here, but never make it out of there, you know. And I personally am a person who likes to travel around the world and see different cultures and see different people, meet people. And like when we went to South America, it was just crazy to see how diehard the fans there are, you know. And that's a lot of fun for me as an artist, to see that people over there on the other side of the world actually dig what you're doing and they like your music. That's cool, you know. But obviously I'm not really an online listener. I always tend to buy the vinyl and listen to it at ease with the, you know, putting the needle on the vinyl and stuff, you know. Watching the artwork, it's very important for me.
Yeah, Yeah. So, well, with this new digital platforms, you know about the aspects. The people now like to pick one, two, three, or maximum four from an album, and they love to this new generation. They love to do just a playlist in YouTube and Tidal, Spotify with one, two songs maximum from a band, perhaps. So for you, why the albums doesn't have the same impact compared to the 80 no, compared to the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and now?
Yeah, I think people, as you said, are just being overwhelmed by the amount of songs that get thrown in their faces, you know. Back then you watched TV and MTV, and there was just like this the same loop of songs all the time, you know. You had like, let's say, 100 songs that were playing this month, and it was only those songs that you heard for the rest. And if you want to hear more, you got to buy the record, and these were played. Right now, I think there, as you said, there's thousands of songs being released every day, and people miss out on stuff. So I think those playlists are actually a good thing on Spotify, because you get to discover new bands that way, but on the other hand, you drown in the new releases. So yeah, it's tough. It's a bit of a love hate thing.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, we're very close to this interview, Joe. And what are the future plans that Evil Invaders has to for when for this shattering reflection, perhaps? Well, you said that you will have a European tour in the coming months, perhaps then a North American tour, or perhaps a Latin American tour. Who knows? Or perhaps more videos, etc., etc.
Yeah, right now we're still planning. I mean, we're thinking about releasing some more videos and making that, because we're not quite sure with the COVID situation how things are going to turn out. But our booker is working on some new tours and plans, but nothing's really confirmed yet. We just have like stuff in Europe basically right now, but we're definitely looking forward to come to the USA and to South America, Latin America, you know, basically everywhere. We just want to play our music wherever we can, and whenever the opportunity's there, we're going to take it. So, yeah.
Great, great to know that. So, well, Joe, the sad times are right by this interview. I hope you enjoyed this one as I did, and thank you very much. And sorry for the
Hey,
missing
no worries.
coordination.
No worries, dude. Not
So
your
sorry
fault.
for yeah, sorry for that. And perhaps do you want to add something to your Latin American fans and Metallerium readers?
Basically, I just want to say check out the new record, even if you didn't like the stuff we did before, because it's a bit different. It's better. And I would say I hope to be back in your country, or I know we have never played Peru,
No.
so I hope to come to Peru one day. Hope sooner the better, and to
I
see
hope
what
so.
it's like over there, and yeah, check out the scene.